Good afternoon, ladies. I hope that you are having a wonderful day. It is a beautiful Monday afternoon here. um, Over the weekend, I had something laid on my heart, and so I wanted to share this with you. It won't take very long, um, but I hope that whoever it's meant for, that you receive it, and that I say it in a way that only brings comfort and hope and edifies my father. And now I wrote this down so you'll see me looking away so I can read. But what I want to speak about is, in the times we are living, and for years now, and for me, since my teen years, we are told through advertising, through Hollywood, right, through the ways of the world, all of that, if you don't look like this, right, if you don't wear this clothing, if you don't hang out with these people, etc., you are not good enough, right? At a young age, we see this woman with a perfect body, or what we're told. What we're told is this is the image of perfection. The perfect hair, everything. Everyone loves her and admires her for her physical beauty. Men are entrapped in the way she looks, while most of the time it is fake. um, so then many hours are spent in the gym, in the mirror, in the dressing room, in the beauty salon, buying makeup, trying to be that perfect woman according to the world's standards, leading down a road of emptiness. You may feel good for the moment, but eventually it fades, and then you go through um, many failed relationships, marriages, being cheated on, still never feeling good enough, always leaving you empty and hurting, always trying to find the next thing to make you feel good, right? To make you feel accepted, to make you feel wanted, to make you feel beautiful. So the example that I'm going to use today, we're going to take a look at the woman at the well. And this is a lot deeper than just a woman at the well, okay? It has another meaning to it, but Shomeron, which we know as Samaria, okay? Shomeron is the Hebrew or the Hebrew word, and that means guarded. It comes from the root word shamar, which means to keep, watch, or preserve. So what I want to take a look at is John chapter 4, and I'm going to read verses 3 all the way through 42. Okay, so stick with me. He left Yehuda, okay? He, that is Yahusha our Messiah, okay? That's who left Yehuda and went away to again to Galilee. And he had to pass through Shomeron, what we know as Samaria. Shomeron is guarded. So he came to a city of Shomeron and called Shechem, which means shoulder or back, near the piece of land Jacob gave to his son Yosef, which means Yahweh has added. And Jacob's fountain was there. So Yahusha, being wearied from the journey, was sitting there at the fountain. It was about the 6th hour. A woman of Shomeron came to draw water. Yahusha said to her, "Give me to drink." For his Talmudim, which are disciples, what we know, had gone off into the city to buy food. The woman of Shomeron therefore said to him, "How is it that you, being a Yehudi, which is a Jew, ask for a drink from me, a woman of Shomeron? For Yahudim, Jews, do not associate with Shomeronites." Yahusha answered and said to her, "If you knew the gift of Elohim and who it is who says to you, 'Give me to drink,' you would have asked him, and he would have given you living water." The woman said to him, "Adonai," which means master, "you have no vessel, and the well is deep. From where then do you have living water? Are you greater than our father Jacob, who gave us the well and drank from it himself and his sons and his stock?" Yahusha answered and said to her, "Everyone drinking of this water shall thirst again, but whoever drinks of the water I give him shall certainly never thirst. And the water that I give him shall become in him a fountain of water springing up into everlasting which is life." The woman said to him, "Adonai, master, Give me this water so that I do not thirst, nor come here to draw. Yahusha said to her, Go, call your husband and come here. The woman answered and said, I have no husband. Yahusha said to her, You have well said, I have no husband. For you have had 5 husbands, and the one whom you now have is not your husband. What you have said is true. The woman said to him, Adonai, I see that you are a Nabi, which is a prophet. Our fathers worshipped on this mountain, but you say that in Yerushalayim, which is teaching of peace, is the place where one needs to worship. Yahusha said to her, Woman, believe me, okay? Believe me. The hour is coming when you shall neither on this mountain nor in Yerushalayim worship the Father. You worship what you do not know. We worship what we know, because the deliverance is of the Yahudim. But the hour is coming, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and truth. For the Father also seeks such to worship him. Elohim is Ruha, which is set apart spirit, and those who worship him need to worship in spirit and truth. The woman said to him, I know that Mashiach, Messiah, is coming, the one who is called Anointed. When that one comes, he shall announce to us all. Yahusha said to her, I am speaking to you. I who am speaking to you am he. And upon this, his Talmudim, his disciples, came, and they were marveling that he was speaking with a woman. However, no one said, What do you seek? Or, Why do you speak with her? The woman then left her water jug and went away to the city and said to the men, Come, see a man who told me that all I have done. Is this not Hamashiach, the Messiah? So we see there she had belief, right? She had belief. They went out of the city and were coming to him. But in the meantime, his Talmudim, his disciples, were asking him, saying, Rabbi, eat, teacher, eat. And he said to them, I have food to eat of which you do not know. Then the Talmudim said to each other, Did anyone bring him to eat? Yahusha said to them, My food is to do the desire of him who sent me and to accomplish his work. Do you not say, There are still 4 months and the harvest comes? See, I say to you, lift up your eyes and see the fields, for they are white for harvest already. He who is reaping receives a reward and gathers fruit for everlasting life, so that both he who is sowing and he who is reaping rejoice together. For in this the word is true. One sows and another reaps. I sent you to reap that for which you have not labored. Others have labored, and you have entered into their labors. And many of the Shomoronites of that city believed in him because of the word of the woman who witnessed. He told me all that I have done. Therefore, when the Shomoronites came to him, they were asking him to stay with them, and he stayed there 2 days. And many more believed because of his word. And they said to the woman, We no longer believe because of what you said, for we ourselves have heard, and we know that this is truly Hamashiach, the Savior of the world. So you see what she did. She believed, right? That's all she did. She believed. She ran away to go tell everyone else, and they could see through her, right? Like all that joy and excitement because she had been forgiven and she had encountered the Most High, right? And she was planting, and they were sowing and reaping. And okay, so to get an understanding, a deeper understanding of what this represents, First and Second Kings, Chronicles, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, they all talk about Shomeron, all right, and the other prophets. But in First and Second Kings, Yisrael had made a lot of high places in the city of Shomeron. In 2 Kings chapter 23, I believe, Shelomo, which is Solomon, he had built high places. And then Yoshiyahu had came and destroyed them all. But King Omri of Israel had bought from a man named Shemer for 2 talents of silver. And that's in 1 Kings 16:24. So on the top of the hill, Omri built a city, and his son Ahab moved Israel's seat of power there from Tisra. His first order of business was to import the Sidonian princess Isabel, or what we know as Jezebel, to Shomeron and build a temple for her deities, Baal and Asherah. And there are many others, but we're just going to say that. Um, so what I want to read real quickly is Yeshayahu, which is Isaiah, so we can kind of understand the little backstory. It goes a lot deeper than that, but Yeshayahu, Isaiah 10 through 13. As my hand has found the reins of the idols whose carved images excelled those of Jerusalem and Shamaron, as I have done to Shamaron and her idols, do I not do also to Jerusalem and her idols? And it shall be, when Yahweh has performed all his work on Mount Zion and on Jerusalem, that I shall punish the fruit of the greatness of the heart of the sovereign of Asher, and the boasting of his haughty looks. For he has said, by the power of my hand I have done it, and by my wisdom, for I have been clever. And I removed the boundaries of the people, and have robbed their treasuries, and I put down the inhabitants like a strong one. Yirmiyahu, which is Jeremiah 31, 5 through 10. Again you shall plant vines on the mountains of Shomeron. The planter shall plant that seed, and treat them as common. For there shall be a day when the watchmen cry on Mount Ephraim, arise, and let us go up to Zion, to Yahweh our Elohim. For thus said Yahweh, sing with gladness for Jacob, and shout among the chief of the nations. Cry out, give praise, and say, O Yahweh, save your people, the remnant of Yasharel. See, I am bringing them from the land of the north, and shall gather them from the ends of the earth, among them the blind and the lame, those with child and those in labor together, a great assembly returning here. With weeping they shall come, and with prayers I bring them. I shall make them walk by rivers of waters in a straight way, in which they do not stumble. For I shall be a father to Israel, and Ephraim, he is my firstborn. Hear the word of Yahweh, O Gentiles, and declare it in the isles far off, and say, he who scattered Yasharel gathers him, and shall guard him as a shepherd his flock. Yechezkel, which is Ezekiel, chapter 16, verse 45 through 49. This is where they trusted in their own idols. You are your mother's daughter who despises her husband and her children, and you are the sister of your sisters who despise their husbands and their children. Your mother was a Hittite, and your father an Amorite, and your elder sister is a Shomeron, she and her daughters, who is dwelling to the north of you. And your younger sister, who is dwelling to the south of you, is Sodom and her daughters. And have you not walked in their ways, and did according to their abominations? But in all your ways you soon became more corrupt than they. As I live, declares the Adon Yahweh, neither your sister Sodom nor her daughters have done as you and your daughters have done. See, this was the wickedness of your sister Sodom. She and her daughter had pride, sufficiency of bread, and unconcerned ease, and she did not help the poor and needy. So what this represents with all these husbands is not only telling us about, like I said, the Shomeron or the Sumerian woman, but is someone going after all these idols, right? All these other idols or things, even adultery, because we see in the story where she had 5 husbands, but then she lived with a man that she wasn't married to. Well, we can just kind of assume that, but we don't have the whole story. So nevertheless, never being filled, but once she encountered the living water, that not only showed her kindness and real love, she was so happy that she ran off and she left her water jug. Why? Because she received what was true, fresh, perfect, living water that flowed from above. She believed, and she ran off to tell everyone else, right? She went out and she just immediately, she believed, and she just went out with joy and was praising and started planting those seeds. That is how our belief should be seen. We were born into sin, committed abominations, but belief in Messiah, Mashiach, spending time in that relationship with our husband-to-be, right? When that wedding, when we have that perfect wedding, we as the bride, when he comes for us, and we have that wedding feast, we should be getting to know him. No greater love is there. I'm not saying that life will get easier. But with him bearing our yoke, we pick up our stake and we follow him. We walk in his way of righteousness. We're to flee whoring, flee idolatry, and don't be like the Pharisee either, or the priest, where they were doing all the outward works, right? Like they were better than everyone because they were keeping all of the laws and whatever, but they were denying. They were denying Messiah. They didn't have love. They didn't have heart. They didn't have compassion for others, like this woman represents. Like she knew that she couldn't come at a certain time because they looked down at her, because it made her feel like she wasn't good enough. She wasn't like them. But let him cast those demons out who want to keep you enslaved in bondage, feeling like you're never good enough, feeling depressed, always looking for the next best thing, and never being satisfied. Yahusha offers the only solution that will fill that empty place. We have all sinned, but once we believe, we turn from our old ways. We pursue walking in his way, not looking back, right? We're going to look forward. We're going to walk down that narrow path towards righteousness. Don't let anyone make you feel like you aren't enough, especially yourself. If any younger girls are watching this, maybe you haven't experienced a heartbreak or multiple relationships, but look at the definition of an idol. Look at what that is. I share this with a pure heart and hope someone listening receives it. In Titus 2, it says that older women are to be kodesh, set apart, in behavior, in order to train up young women to love their husbands, right? Not just to love their earthly husbands, but love their husband. To love their children. So as someone that has been through some of these things, I can attest to that, okay? I share this short message as hope and encouragement that no matter what you've done, he died for you. He died for you because he loves you. And no matter what any man or any other person or what the world tells you you have to be, how you have to look, that you're not good enough because you don't have this or that, that's a lie. He created you to be perfect in his image. So let go of all that. Let go of all of that that's just holding you down. Let go of the world. Let go of the music. Let go of the TV, the news, the magazines. All of that stuff that keeps you enslaved and making you feel like you have to be a certain way. His sins wash all of that and make you feel pure. Make you feel, maybe you felt like the ugliest girl that ever walked the earth. But because of him, because of his love, he sees you as beautiful. Don't let anybody make you feel any other way. I'm going to share a poem that I wrote a while back because it seemed fitting to go with this message. His mercy and grace from above, how I embrace his unchanging love. He knew me in my mother's womb, and he knew one day I would bloom. I had to put myself to death to worship him in every breath. He took my hurt, my bruises, my scars, my pain, and replaced it with manna rain. I praise him for his mercy and his grace. How glorious the day when I see his face. Give me strength to bear witness on this earth that I roam. You, yes you, can have this gift. Oh child, he wants you to come home. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. Shalom.